I have been in the markets for over 25 years and I've seen it all. But if I had to start from scratch today, a small amount of capital, clean slate, just me and a laptop, this is exactly how I build wealth through the markets. And it's not what most people think. I wouldn't chase day trades. I wouldn't focus on dividends and options, cash flow strategies. I'd find a few high conviction ideas, go deep, and hedge the downside risks. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step exactly what I would do. So step one, start with the macro. What's happening in the world that actually matters? Think in themes, not tickers. AI infrastructure, inflation regime changes, commodity cycles, energy policy shifts. You can't find an edge in noise. You find an edge in context. So before I look at a single chart, I need to understand the bigger picture. For example, take uranium over the past few years. The resurgence wasn't driven by short term noise or isolated headlines, but from a fundamental shift in global energy policy amid decarbonization goals. Governments facing the realities of unreliable renewables and geopolitical tensions over fossil fuels began pivoting back to nuclear. This structural shift transformed uranium from a forgotten commodity into a thematic powerhouse, underscoring why traders who saw the bigger context early found their real edge. Step two, go hunting for a few great trades. Think of investing like life on the African savannah. Most investors behave like gazelles. They find comfort in the herd, feeling safe as long as they're following the crowd, even if it leads them right into danger. But the best investors, they hunt like cheetahs. A cheetah doesn't chase everything it sees. Instead, it rests patiently, quietly scanning the landscapes, waiting for the perfect moment. And when that moment arrives, it moves swiftly, decisively, and successfully. In investing, being a cheetah means ignoring the herd and striking only when the opportunity is clear. The way that I would find those asymmetric trades is by understanding the four stages of the market cycle. Most people believe there are only two stages of the cycle, bullish and bearish, but there are four. Think of it like the seasons in a year: the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter. Let me explain the cycles by sharing some of the slides in our Technical Masters program inside the Big Picture Trading membership. You can see the phases of the cycle. There's the accumulation phase, the bull phase, the distribution phase, and the bear phase. The first phase is the accumulation phase. Think of it like the spring. This is where you start to see green shoots. It's often after a big bear market decline. There's been new accumulation. Things are quiet, stable. You see basing formations developing, patterns of higher lows. Bad news doesn't sell off the stock. All sorts of things start to show that there is stability forming and setting up for a potential rally. The second phase is the bull phase. Think of it like the summer. This is where all the action happens. You basically have a breakout. You start to see patterns of higher highs and higher lows, accumulation coming in, the stock getting a lot of attention, and obviously big returns are being seen. This transitions into the third phase, which is the distribution phase. Think of it like the season of fall. What we start seeing here is that there was a robust bull market well underway, huge money made, and things still structurally look bullish. People are still sitting on big returns. The stories still remain hot, but the stock starts to get heavy. Every rally is met with distribution, and the big money players are selling into strength. This is often a period where stocks are being transferred from the smart money to the retail investors that are willing to own a great story. And of course, this transitions into step four, which is the bear phase. And this is now a situation where the selling becomes very clear and pronounced as there's no marginal buyers left. And at this stage, they're willing to sell by continuously hitting the bid. And this creates that negative feedback mechanism of selling and distribution. Let's take a look at this with some real examples. Let's particularly touch on two stocks that are very popular. Let's talk about Palantir. Now, Palantir, when it came onto the market in 2021, started with a rise on its IPO, and then began a distribution cycle that lasted almost 6 months. We then proceeded to go into a bearish cycle that lasted for also about a half a year. That transitioned into the quiet accumulation cycle that happened down along the bottom, which of course led to the bull cycle that saw it start its rise. This is an example of just the four stages playing out on just a stock that many of you may be familiar with. Another is the largest stock in the market right now, NVIDIA. I'm just going to do a look back here, back to 2022 and 23. We also saw the situation where we had a distribution cycle developing in the early parts of 2022, a bear decline on the downside, and even a darling stock like Nvidia, which the AI story was incredibly well known back then, still proceeded to go through a 66% decline from peak to trough during the bear cycle. This led to this quiet accumulation cycle that lasted also about a half a year along its base before it began that extraordinary bull run that we're still seeing today. So the key takeaway is that this happens on almost every stock. But the puzzle to solve is, where is the most asymmetric moment to buy these stocks? Step three, waiting for the moment. I'm not rushing in on day one. I want to enter when I have the setup, the confirmation, and the sentiment all lined up. Sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't take. I'd rather wait 6 months for a fat pitch than take the mediocre ones now. Understanding what we discussed in step two helps you better understand how to find that moment. Step four, trade with conviction. I want to talk about three distinct ways that investors approach this. Now, the first one is to just go in full size. You basically go into the trade with high conviction, concentrated position. Now, what are the risks? This is the riskiest way, because if your timing is wrong, you're already fully into this position, sometimes even leveraged. You can experience material drawdowns in the process of trying to discover where that bottom is. The second way is the way of scaling in, which is you take on an initial starting position, and only when the market is proving that you're right, that you start adding to the position to make it a much bigger, more concentrated position. The third way is the way that I like to do it. I like to go fully in the way we did in example one, but I like to hedge out those risks using options. This gives me a very clear floor to my maximum risk and allows me to really understand the parameters of the trade. This allows me to not only have that conviction, but also the confidence in knowing that I already know what my worst case scenario is if the trade doesn't work. That allows me to completely eliminate the need for diversification, because I've already set out the parameters of what I'm willing to risk in order to set myself up for this opportunity to make the big money. If I had to do it all again, here's what I tell myself: build conviction, not confusion. Focus on one idea, not 10 tickers. Get over the idea of always being invested, but rather bet with size when it counts. Understand and focus on risk management and trade like a professional, even if your account isn't big yet. If this model of trading, conviction first, laser focused, and concentrated, appeals to you and you're ready to take your trading to the next level, click on the link for a no risk 14-day trial to Big Picture Trading. We don't just talk about setups. We teach you how to think like a macro trader, how to build a thesis, manage risk like a pro, and wait for the right moment to strike. See you there.